Thank you. So if everyone could please take your seats and make sure that your mobile phones are turned off before we start. So good morning. I'm Lorie Karnath, President of Molecular Frontiers Foundation, and co-chair, along with Professor Bengt Nordén, of this very special symposium on human origins and the future of humanity. We're very excited to be here in this beautiful city of Lund. A bit over a year ago, Professor Donald Johanson mentioned to me that 2024 would mark 50 years since his discovery of one of the most complete hominin fossils ever found. A fossil that today we all know as Lucy. At the time of the discovery, the enormous implications of the remains of a diminutive 3.2 million-year-old female buried within Hadar, Ethiopia's parched, crusty terrain were hard to conceive. And yet, they were to forever change humankind's view of ourselves. This anniversary gives cause to reflect on how humankind has evolved since Lucy's time and contemplate human life going forward. I'd like to start off the program, though, by thanking all of our distinguished speakers, many who have traveled great distances to be here today, as well as our very generous partners, the Royal Physiographic Society and Lund University, who, along with Molecular Frontiers, are the hosts of this program. We'd also like to thank Next Breath as the organizing group, Xavier Masson and Gerald Rojak. And we'd like to thank the program sponsors, again, the Royal Physiographic Society, Lund University, Ferring Pharmaceuticals, Frederick Paulsen and Thomas Larsen, Alico, Peregrine Holdings, Chanel Ehlers, and Robert Rothermond, Berkeley Global Scientific Institute, the Explorers Museum, World Scientific, and Jason Learning, who are live streaming the program today. I'd like to say thank you to all of our live viewers as well. On stage, we have a time capsule that you'll hear a little bit more about at the lunch break. I'm also going to ask you to please reserve your questions for during the panel discussions, and I'm sure there'll be many. Besides those that I've mentioned, there are many others who I should thank, but I'll do that along the course of the program. For sure, we have an amazing 2 days ahead of us. So, as the sign says, sit back, get ready to explore the past, and let's find out how we can work together to forge our futures, the future of humankind. To open the program, we're going to have Professor Erik Renström, the Vice Chancellor of Lund University, who will shortly provide the welcome address. I'd like to also thank others at Lund University who have helped us, Sven Ledin, John Conlin, and Olivier Jäger from the amazing tech team. Professor Renström is a physician by training and a professor of endocrinology. He has broad experience in academia, healthcare, and business. But before he says a few words, my co-chair, Bengt Nordén, who is the founder of Molecular Frontiers Foundation almost 20 years ago, will say a few words. Welcome, Bengt.
Thanks, Lorie. I'm not alone founder. Lorie is also a founder, and we have two more founders in the audience. Shu Guangsang, you are here? Stand up. And Magdalena Eriksson, here. So I think we should begin by giving them a hand, because without them, you wouldn't be here today. Then I want to address the main audience, which are the young students. I have also been a student, like many of the eminent speakers today. You might not think so, but exactly 60 years ago today, at this moment, I was answering questions at my student examination. That was a harsh time. You may ask, why so early, April, studentexamen? Well, the reason is that most of the referees, that's called censorer, they came from my school, which is here in Lund, Katedralskolan. Are there people from Katedralskolan here? Yeah? At that time, you had to answer for a very harsh examination, and there were these referees. And in my case, I don't remember I came up in Swedish and in mathematics. And Swedish, let's forget it. It was, I had to interpret some poem, I don't remember. But the mathematics, I came up on differential equations, and this is something I happen to know. It was outside the curriculum, but I did it very elegant, and I felt very proud of myself when I made the final line on the blackboard. And I said, this equation could be very useful if you want to construct an atomic bomb. And I looked at the referee. The referee was one of the three-star generals in Sweden. And my mathematics teacher said that was not necessary. But I have it in very fresh memory. So I just wish you a pleasure. I want you to enjoy the talks. I can't promise you how big percentage you will understand. I remember when I, as a young student, heard my first scientific talks, I understood maybe 5%. I hope you will understand a little more, and you should not be shy. If you have questions and if you think they are stupid, that's even more important. You should ask the questions. So, and what about the speakers? Of course, we are very thankful to the speakers. We know each other. They are almost in my age, and we are like a team. I feel sometimes, since many of you come again, you come back, like a traveling circus company. So, we are very thankful to you. But the hand I want to propose is for the young people. Welcome. And now we have the Vice Chancellor, or the President, or whatever you call yourself.
Rector. So fantastic to see you here. Dear colleagues, Your Excellencies, but first and foremost, all students that are here. Is this your first time in this lecture hall? Yes, but not the last, I hope. So, a warm welcome to the Molecular Frontiers Symposium on Human Origins and the Future of Humanity. And a warm welcome also to Lund University, a university that is thrilled beyond belief to host this symposium, which I dare say is one of the very best in decades in Lund, and one of the very best in the world at large, all categories. The stellar lineup of speakers speaks for itself, but of course it's primarily what they will tell us, what they will share with us, that impresses the most, and the sheer ambition that the program exudes. So me speaking here, Erik Renström, Vice Chancellor of Lund University, and I am especially happy to welcome you at this time of the year. This time of the year, spring is on its way, and the nature is about to change to its most verdant green. Spring is the season that best symbolizes what Lund University aims for. Spring has always been loved by students here, and they have always found new ways to cherish it and celebrate it. What makes spring such an exciting time is the mixture of confidence that history has taught us. Confidence that the warmth and the light will return, but also suspense. Suspense about what the future will be and what this summer will be like. We never know in our part of the world. I believe I see exactly this mixture in the program. Through systematic and ingenious work, we can better understand how we ourselves came to be and why humanity has become the way it is. Thanks to that, we have been given the tools to predict what our own future and the future of humanity might look like, but we can never be completely sure. One of the finest things that science has taught me is the ability to be safe and feel safe in my own doubt. Scientific doubt is based on knowledge. Knowledge gives the self-confidence to dare to admit that we may be wrong, which stands in stark contrast to the ignorance-induced absence of ideas or ignorance-induced overdue certainty. Both parts, I mean, we see a painful too much about in the general debate today. But what joy then to look forward to 2 days when that will be a pure anti-serum against a sometimes tiring contemporary world. What we are about to hear isn't just a cavalcade of top-notch scientific achievements and advances from some of the sharpest brains that academia can produce. It is also a manifestation of what the scientific approach can bring to the world. By humbly piecing together every bit of knowledge and looking at our own collective work, we can produce faith in the future and a picture of what the future of humanity will be like, although we can never be completely sure. I wish you all 2 wonderful days. Cherish them, enjoy them, and keep them as a very special memory. Warm welcome.